Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Benny Contreras, and welcome to this channel. This channel is all about building young leaders for ministry. And man, I got to tell you, my heart has been burning, and for this very reason, is that I believe the church needs more young ministers to thrive. That's right. In order for the church to thrive, we need more young ministers, more young leaders working in ministry. And, there's so much that goes into that in not only like finding and discipling and raising up young leaders, but then getting them plugged in with good mentors and getting them plugged in the right area that God has called them to. And so this channel, I was looking at YouTube and I was like, man, I got to find some YouTube channels that are great for young, thriving leaders, great for bringing up young leaders in church and putting them in ministry, great tips and tools for young leaders as they're navigating ministry in church, especially during the pandemic. And I couldn't really find much, honestly. If anything, it was more for youth leaders, youth pastors who are building a youth ministry or young adult ministry, which is great. It's all needed. But we have young people right now who are not serving in youth ministry, young people who are not youth pastors, young people who are not building youth ministries, although this channel will definitely be for them as well. I'm talking about young leaders that need to get plugged into ministry. I believe that there are young leaders being called at this moment to step up, answer the calling that God has placed on their lives. For me, I remember, serving in ministry. I started when I was really like 16 years old and just kind of helping out and working ministry, kind of the more nuts and bolts, putting a service together, just the typical stuff. But God had a calling on my life even when I was a kid. And although I couldn't sit here and tell you an exact day and time on when that happened, I can tell you the moments that God used me in ministry and how that impacted my life. And more, every time things would happen, it would show me like, hey, God has called you for ministry, Ben. And here I am, I'm 32 years old, and I don't feel like I'm that old. And I feel like, in fact, that I still got so much to learn. I do have so much to learn. I'm still young. I'm still fresh. I'm still new in some ways. But I started looking at, our church and the area that it's at right now because of the pandemic. There are many hurdles to overcome just building a church, casting vision for the church, and making the church go and run. Now we throw in a pandemic. Now we throw in all the issues in our society that are really coming to light. And it really comes more clear than ever that our churches need young leaders. That's why God has called you to step into ministry now. And you may ask yourself, well, why church? And church is kind of very hypocritical. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of, you say one thing, you do another. To be 100% honest with you guys, I believe that the church is the safest place to fail. Trust me, when I look at my own life and my own ministry, I have failed plenty of times. Some in serious ways, some in like, oh, why did I do that ways? But I've failed plenty of times and I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still standing. In fact, now I'm encouraging you to get in it just like I did. If that should speak volumes on how safe the church is to be able to fail. You can mess up because there's people that are going to love you for you. Not love you for what you do, but love you because of you. Now, you may be thinking to your mind as well, like, well, I don't know if I'm really called to ministry. I mean, look at me. I may not dress and look like somebody that works in church or works in ministry, somebody that preaches, somebody that sings, somebody that teaches, somebody that does audio. I don't really look like that person that's leading the ministry. I don't really speak like that preacher that's preaching. And I got to tell you right now that God has called you. And he needs you to be you. That's the beautiful thing about ministry. It's a beautiful thing about serving God in ministry is that God has called you and he needs you to be you. He doesn't need you to be somebody else, to look like somebody else, speak like somebody else. I mean, obviously it matters on what we're saying and whether we're speaking truth and preaching the word of God. But as far as the way your voice sounds, the words you use, your demeanor, your character, the way you dress, the way you speak, all these different things, it's all unique to who God created you to be. There is no preacher factory where we just literally have a certain mold and we just punch them and we throw them out on the assembly line and they all get put together the exact same way. The beautiful thing is that God has called you and he needs you to be you. So this channel is going to be dedicated for young leaders for ministry, building up young leaders who are ready to step into the calling of ministry. I believe that there are many of you out there that are watching this going, man, this is my time. This is my moment. And I believe that as we go into 2020, we're going to be embarking new territory as we face this pandemic. And whether we like it or not, church is not going to look the same that it has the last couple of decades. It's going to be different. It's going to be difficult. And this is why we need young leaders now. And so I hope that you will watch this channel. I hope you subscribe to it. You like it. If you are a young leader in ministry right now, if you are a young person and you're just not sure if ministry is the right for you, this channel is going to be here to encourage you, to empower you, to give you the tips and tools you need to navigate ministry, especially in this day. I love you guys. My heart is burning for you and I'm praying for you. And I know that together, because remember, hey, me too, my ministry as well has not looked the same over the last couple of years, especially this year. God has called me to preach and teach, and I haven't really done any of that over the last year. A lot because of the pandemic and a lot because of just life. Things happen and life takes us in different roads, but God is still good. And I believe that this channel will be a blessing to you as it will be to me. So until the next time, I hope to see you guys. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get more content for building young leaders for ministry. I'll see you guys later. God bless.